Smiles on Selfie Day, too.
There's more news straight ahead tonight.
10 TV News at 6 starts right now.
The political battle for Ohio as we watch for polls to close tonight. Why some voters admit they didn't vote for who they thought was the best person running.
10 TV is live at the campaign trail in Cleveland with Governor John Kasich. How his supporters feel about his chances to win the Buckeye State, as well as other primaries tonight.
Teenagers fighting for the vote to vote in the presidential primary. I'll talk to the winners of a lawsuit against the state and get their reaction to what it's like to vote for the first time.
And a Doppler 10 weather alert for high winds. Your election evening forecast, plus a look at when those high winds arrive. Now on 10 TV News at 6.
From Central Ohio's news leader, this is 10 TV News at 6.
Now at 6, a critical race for Republicans and Democrats as Ohioans cast their ballots. Tonight could shape the rest of the primary season. Thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Kristen Hartman.
And I'm Jerry Revish. We are covering the races across Central Ohio tonight. With just 90 minutes left in which to vote, Ohio is one of 5 states holding primaries, as you see on this map, including Florida, Illinois, Missouri, and North Carolina. Now, before polls close, we'll hear from voters who just cast their first ballot and check in on Governor Kasich waiting for results near Cleveland.
We are also live at the Secretary of State's office with a look at voter turnout. But we begin at 6 with a look at the polls and the unusual strategy some voters are taking this primary. 10 TV's Laura Borchers is live in West Columbus with a look at what some are calling defensive voting.
Yeah, Kristen, this is a primary unlike others. We've been talking with voters, and they describe a lot of plotting that went into finding out just who would be the right candidate they wanted to lift up. I want to give you a live look at this Dublin Road location here. It's busy, and we've been talking with voters here and other places, all telling us that they're playing a little defense with their vote.
Hillary Clinton, Trump.
The instant after telling us who they voted for.
I voted for Bernie Sanders.
I'm voting for John Kasich.
These voters were quick to explain why, and most of the time the answer was not as simple as because that candidate is the best running. We found Ohioans stepping into polling booths with what political pundits call, quote, defensive voting on their minds and a strategy in their hands.
It's kind of crazy. I think everybody knows that we're a pretty influential state on primary Tuesday and also on the big election days, so I think it's important for everybody to get out to vote, and whatever strategy you do pick, I think you should do it in an educated manner.
Methodology extended across party lines, too. Pamela Goodson said she listened to her husband's debate on whether or not to swap out his Democrat ballot for a Republican one.
He thought he would maybe get a Republican ballot and vote for John Kasich, just because it's important that Donald Trump not win the state of Ohio.
I don't remember a primary ever being like this, and I voted every single time since I've been 18.
And by this, Karen means thought out and strategic.
So I think this election is probably more important than the other elections I've been to.
We found a man voting in his Superman shirt, hoping his ballot might be the one that comes to the rescue.
People seem to not necessarily be voting for just the person they think is the best, but voting for who they think will prevent people they don't want.
And I've been talking with poll workers here at this location. There has not been a point all day long that they have not had a voter in-house. It's been a busy day. If the rain kept you away, remember, you still have more than an hour to make your way to your polling location. Reporting live, I'm Laura Borchers, 10 TV News.
Thanks a lot, Laura. More than 1,400 eligible 17-year-olds can vote this year for president in the primary after they filed a lawsuit against the Secretary of State's office, barring them from doing that. 10 TV News reporter Kevin Landers is live in North Columbus, where 2 of those teens in the suit voted today. Kevin?
Yeah, Jerry, it will be interesting to see what impact this has on tonight's election results. Now, this lawsuit challenged the state's position that 17-year-olds who will turn 18 in November could only nominate, not elect a president in the primary. Brothers Christian and Brian Bush were among the 9 plaintiffs who challenged the state's interpretation of the law and won. We spoke to them moments after they each voted.
It's what we fought for, and it's just really cool to see it come to fruition. I think it's just good to get your voice out there. I mean, I felt good about being able to vote for whoever I wanted to vote for and make an impact on my own future.
Now, this lawsuit paved the way for more than 15,000 eligible 17-year-olds statewide to vote in this election. Of course, we will be watching this part of the election very closely. Reporting live in North Columbus, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
Kevin, thank you. Governor John Kasich cast his ballot this morning in the presidential primary. He visited the polling location in Westerville just before 11. The governor says it felt great to cast a vote for himself to be the next president. And tonight, the governor is watching results from the Cleveland area. 10 TV's Tyler Beckham is live at Baldwin Wallace University, just south of Cleveland, where supporters are starting to gather. And Tyler, I have to imagine there's an excitement in the room already.
Lots of excitement here. Not a ton of supporters here, though. In fact, media probably, Kristen, outnumbers staff about 2-to-1 at this point, so a lot of setup going on. We expect to see Kasich take the podium here behind me shortly after the polls close. His campaign saying about 7:30 or 8 o'clock we could see him here. As we've said multiple times, Kasich's home state of Ohio is a make-or-break state. He needs this to stay in the race. His message, his campaign message of experience and integrity is what he hopes will separate himself from Republican frontrunner Donald Trump. The latest polls show Trump and Kasich in a very tight race, so we expect this to be a long night at this point, so time will tell whether or not Kasich's decision to run a clean campaign, as his folks put it, will pay off and reward him with the state of Ohio, this very important state tonight. Live in Berea at Baldwin Wallace, Tyler Beckham, 10 TV News.
Thanks, Tyler. Governor Kasich is in last place in the delegate count. So why is he staying in the race if he has no shot to get the delegates needed to win that nomination? Well, 10 TV political anchor Scott Light is here tonight. And Scott, it's part of Kasich's Cleveland convention plan?
Yeah, that's what he says. Kasich says if he wins Ohio, he'll campaign all the way to the convention and win the nomination there. Here's an exchange that he and I had this morning. He calls a contested Republican convention great history. You said if this gets to a contested convention, that this will be a great lesson for America in terms of a history lesson. But the other thing that will be on display at a contested convention is a Republican Party split in about 3 or 4 different ways.
Oh, listen, I mean, through division comes strength. I mean, this is a really cool thing. Conventions are really interesting, and but we don't know. We'll see what happens. This is the craziest race that what you think is going to happen tomorrow usually doesn't. It's something you never expected does.
A contested convention may be good for the governor, but the reality is the party doesn't want this. The party wants a unified convention before it even starts, not a food fight between Trump, Cruz, and Kasich supporters playing out on national TV. Jerry, back to you.
So right there. Thanks a lot, Scott. The other Republicans tonight are spending time outside of Ohio. Donald Trump and Senator Marco Rubio have campaigned heavily across Florida. Trump will watch results in West Palm Beach. Rubio will be in Miami. Meantime, Senator Ted Cruz hopes for a win in Illinois, and he's monitoring the races closely from his home state, Texas.
And on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders is trying to pull off another Midwest upset against Hillary Clinton. Sanders is making a run for Missouri, Ohio, and Illinois, where he has campaigned heavily, in Chicago to be specific. But Clinton has a big lead in Florida polls, where 214 delegates are up for grabs.
In the states that are coming down the pike, we have great opportunities to win many of them, so we're feeling really good.
I want people who are Democrats to look at this election as to who can be the strongest Democratic nominee against whoever the Republicans put up. And I think that is most likely me.
Senator Sanders typically does well with independents. That's a benefit for him in states like Ohio, where an open primary exists, meaning you don't have to be a registered Democrat to vote.
Well, tonight's election is already going smoother than last November's voting. The challenges in late-night voting marked last year's election. This election, none of that. 10 TV's Nathan Vaca talked with Secretary of State John Husted tonight about how smoothly voting is going across the state. Nathan, is he pleased?
He is. Now, the secretary did not report any incidents resulting in any downtime for the polling locations today. Now, last November, new electronic poll books did not work correctly. That led to voters being turned away that morning and a court challenge to keep the polls open late in Hamilton County last year. This election is seeing none of those problems because of recent changes.
We've implemented the technology. The boards of elections have worked through the bugs. This technology has made the process smoother for poll workers, smoother for voters. It's increased efficiency at the polling locations and made the elections more secure.
Now, we asked the Secretary of State, what does the voter participation look like? And he's saying it's not approaching the 2008 levels, but it is surpassing 2012 primary levels. We'll continue to monitor situations here at Election Central. Reporting live from the Ohio State House, Nathan Baca, 10 TV News.
Thanks, Nathan. The presidential primary isn't the only race on the ballot tonight. Hilliard voters are being asked to weigh in on Issue 9 on zoning. Now, it would create a 60-day waiting period for changes. Grandview voters are being asked to approve a tax levy there. It would fund about 18% of the city budget. Up in Delaware County tonight, voters are being asked to consider a hotel bed tax. Franklin County voters being asked to decide the next sheriff. Incumbent Zach Scott faces retired Columbus Police Lieutenant Dallas Baldwin. The winner runs unopposed in November. And nearly a dozen school districts have tax levies and issues on the ballot as well. You can see the full list again at 10tv.com. And the polls are still open across Ohio for this primary election night. If you have a voting or election question, the League of Women Voters will be in our studio tonight to help you. Please call 614-469-10TV or toll free 855-746-10TV. They'll take your calls until the polls close, and that will be at 7:30. Well, getting every single voter to the polls, that's always the goal.
Yeah, and it's a big task. How this high school senior is making that mission a reality and making sure everyone could exercise their right to vote.
We're tracking 2 weather alerts tonight. One, the potential for some thunderstorms and even severe weather to our west. This is a tornado watch back across Illinois. We'll have to monitor that. And for tomorrow, we're talking about gusty winds. There's a wind advisory as well.
Plus, tournament prep for the Ohio State Buckeyes. How Coach Thad Matta thinks the men will fare in the National Invitational Tournament, NIT, kicking off tonight.
Closed captioning on 10 TV is sponsored by Custom Air.
During the Lexus Command Performance Sales event, there's always cause for celebration. With extraordinary offers on the visionary LS, the generously appointed ES, and the new 8-passenger LX. Because thrills like this only happen during the Command Performance Sales event. Lease the 2016 ES 350 for $339 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
I'm not a big city person. I grew up here. These are my streets. These are my skyscrapers. As a geologist, I chose to work in the energy industry for a reason. Fracking will help us secure America's energy future, and I want to make sure that we're protecting the land and water too. There has to be a balance. Fact is, they've been fracking safely for over 65 years. In the end, progress depends on all of us doing our part.
Learn more at energyfromshale.org.
You appreciate being treated right. Time is the most valuable thing you have. Family is really important to you.
Right now at Byers Airport Volkswagen, lease a new 2016 Jetta S for $149 a month.
No matter how you see yourself, picture yourself in a Byers Volkswagen, conveniently located by the airport.
Finding the perfect engagement ring is every girl's dream. So my experience with Myers Jewelers had to include my best friends. We tried on a stunning selection from Hearts on Fire to Corey, Martin Flyer, and Simon G. We looked at so many incredible loose diamonds, and the prices were absolutely the best. I found the ring I've been dreaming of at Myers Jewelers at the price my soon-to-be fiance was dreaming of too.
Experience Myers Jewelers.
There's a sound a ball makes when it catches nothing but net. Everyone loves that sound, that precision. At GMC, we get that. Nothing separates the men from the boys like nothing but net. This is the precision of professional grade.
Now, get this low-mileage lease on this 2016 GMC Acadia for around $372 per month, with just $372 due at signing. Visit your Central Ohio GMC dealer.
Check out the Jeff Weiler Fresh Start Financing Program on Route 33 in Canal, Winchester.
Primary day, Super Tuesday across Ohio, and as the saying goes, every vote counts. But there are many who don't vote because it's too hard to get to the polls.
And that's where volunteers like Dominic Detweiler come in. As 10 TV's Shelby Croft shows us, this young Democrat is willing to give any voter a lift.
Bernie Sanders campaign calling to remind you that today is voting day.
He's making calls for Bernie Sanders, but this high school senior has a bigger agenda.
This is my first presidential election. As Americans, we have a responsibility to get involved.
Dominic Detweiler thinks a big part of that responsibility is voting. He thinks politics play a part in everything.
I think it's important for me, especially as a young person, to make sure that my voice is heard.
And Dominic firmly believes everyone's voice should be heard. He's helping anyone vote this election day.
I'll get you a ride, no matter who you're voting for. I'm not even going to ask you.
Proof of that is this taker, Jay Ball. He's no Bernie supporter.
I'm going to vote for Hillary. She's my girl. If I had a girlfriend, I would want somebody just like her. I'm so glad to get to the polls. Well, we're glad to help you out.
Jay's son couldn't make it to take his dad to the polls. Bernie's camp randomly called Jay in their effort to remind voters about the primary. Jay said he didn't have a ride, and that's where Dominic came in.
I wasn't going to get to the polls.
The teenager and Korean War vet shared stories.
I got to pilot the B-17, the 4-engine bomber. Oh, wow.
And some laughs. Politics never came up, and they didn't need to. For Dominic, it was all about helping people exercise their American right.
I think that this is a true spirit of voting.
In Grove City, Shelby Croft, 10 TV News.
Good kid. Dominic also posted his efforts on Facebook. His parents let him use their car for the day. Continue to trust 10 TV and 10tv.com all night long for the latest vote totals and election updates. We will have a special live edition of Face the State tonight at 7:30 and digital updates all night long.
Couldn't ask for a better day to vote. Pretty dry, a little overcast, but I'm hearing there's some sun out there. I haven't had a chance to look out a window yet.
I know, we've all been sequestered
inside
here.
today.
Yeah.
But Chris, we had some sun today?
Yeah, things improving. That's actually warmed us up into the 70s across southern Ohio.
Wow.
But some wild weather heads our way next. In fact, we've got a couple of weather alerts to pass along. The first is a wind advisory for the daytime tomorrow. Going to be very blustery tomorrow. The winds could be as high as 40, perhaps 50 miles an hour up in northern Ohio. Now, here's a look at wind speeds. This is tomorrow morning, so we're starting off with winds 25 to almost 30 miles an hour. But notice as we go through the day, here we are at noon, we're up to 36 mile an hour gusts up in Marion, 34 in Bucyrus 36, Marion at 34, and Kenton at 37. So it picks up as we head through the day. Then eventually they start to die down a little bit as we head towards tomorrow evening. In addition, there could be some thunderstorms coming through the Midwest as well. This area back across Illinois right now under a tornado watch. Now these storms are just now forming. They'll move across Illinois, Indiana, then eventually into Ohio. I think they'll die down as they reach us because they're going to be getting here so late tonight. But a couple of things we need to watch. 64 out there right now with the wind from the southeast. Temps across the area up over 70 in Athens. It's 72 at MacArthur right now, and we're at 72 down in Pike County as well. Tonight's low will be 53. Showers late, maybe a thunderstorm towards morning with winds out of the southeast. Let's time out that rain. Here we are going through midnight. We're okay. We'll stop it right here about 7 a.m. We've got some rain right overhead, so be prepared for that as you head out the door tomorrow. It could slow you down just a little bit. 53 at 7. 60 at noon, 64. That'll be your high temperature at 4 o'clock. That'll move out. Skies will clear. Again, windy as we go through our daytime tomorrow. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds through the day. Actually, turns out to be fairly mild in the 60s. And then as we head into our day on Thursday and Friday, a couple hit or miss showers. Then a lot cooler as we head into your weekend. Here are all the details in your 7-day forecast. We're at 64 tomorrow, then 58 our high temperature on Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, bringing just that slight chance, about a 20% chance of a shower. Looking ahead to the weekend, Saturday 51, 30% chance for some showers. Sunday's high is 45. And there could actually be some wet snowflakes mixed in northern Ohio on Sunday. The Doppler 10-day forecast now taking us into next week. And while it's a little cooler in the 40s for a couple days, doesn't last long. All of a sudden we're back up into the 60s, 60 degrees next Wednesday and about 64 next Thursday. And real quick, we did bring a little sunshine for our birthday boy over here. Yeah. We want to say happy birthday to Jerry Revich.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a birthday week here. Dom Barry joins us with sports, and his birthday was a couple days ago.
All the finest people are born in March. We're Pisces. We are fish. No question about it. You know, when it comes to college basketball, this is the time of the year you want to be playing your best ball. And that will be the case certainly with the Ohio State men's basketball team. The Buckeyes kicking off NIT tournament play tonight at home, hosting a very dangerous Akron basketball team. Tip-off slated for 7 p.m. You can bet the Zips will come here gunning for the upset. Buckeyes had better be ready.
Tried to draw the comparison of a Northwestern Indiana, Michigan type of team in terms of their offense. They run great actions and you know, they've got a great balance of inside out, and it'll be a unique experience for our guys.
Yeah, Akron's a good team. Buckeyes are the 3 seed, Akron the 6 seed. The winner of the game will take on the winner of Florida at North Florida. That game will be played tonight at 9 p.m. OSU women's basketball team getting a bid to the NCAA tournament. The Buckeyes, the 3 seed, will host the 14th seed Buffalo. That game will be played this Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon. The Lady Bucks have lost 3 out of the last 4 games and needing a big bounce back.
Unfortunately, the Big Ten tournament that we had wasn't a success. I mean, ever since we lost, and we've been practicing out last week and this week, beginning of this week, it's just been one of those things where we were focused without in. I think if we can keep that going on, and for the remainder of the season, I think we'll be successful.
On the ice, Blue Jackets back in action this coming Thursday. Detroit Red Wings coming to town. Jackets will be without the services of defenseman Dalton Prout. The NHL suspending him for 1 game for this punch to Tampa Bay's Nikita Kucherov. NFL says he hit an unsuspecting target. Prout will forfeit just over $5,700. I think that's what Jerry makes a newscast. National holidays. It's National Ag Day as we celebrate all things agriculture. It is also National Everything You Think Is Wrong Day. Everything you think is wrong. Okay. In other words, this is a day where you admit maybe you're not right all the time. Honey, maybe I'm not right all the time.
That's the smart thing
maybe.
To say.
But this is the day that you admit sometimes you're wrong.
All right.
Sometimes.
But not with news. We're not wrong with news.
No.
Never.
No.
Never. We'll be back with a final check of the forecast.
Welcome to Long John Silver's, home of our wild-caught 100% Alaskan whitefish and plump and juicy shrimp. Now for a limited time, enjoy our new fish and shrimp basket for just $3.99. Because at Long John Silver's, you deserve more.
What makes CareSource the #1 Medicaid plan in Ohio? Simple. More people choose CareSource than all of the other plans combined. Enroll now at caresource.com.
Reliability are new, the affordability are used. Get it all with GM Certified Pre-Owned.
Well, you know the car was looked over really well. They wouldn't sell it to you as a certified car unless it was, you know, a #1. I guess that's what I look for most of all, knowing that I'm not buying a lemon or anything like that. Get a free car wash here anytime once you buy a car. Yeah, I've been real satisfied with my buying experience here.
We are the #1 GM Certified Pre-Owned dealer in the state. We are Maxton Chevrolet.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need
The carpets are always red. The stars are everywhere you look. There's no place like Hollywood. Hollywood Casino Columbus. We're giving away a 2016 Mustang or $20,000 cash. So start earning entries and hit the road Hollywood style this spring.
It takes more than sleek lines and aggressive styling to attract some drivers. 320
28 horsepower that handles like this certainly qualifies as more. Lease the all-wheel drive Infiniti Q50 for $309 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
It's been a long time coming, but spring has finally sprung, and the woods and waterways are coming alive in your metro parks. The warm days have turtles basking in the sun, frogs trilling in their ponds, and geese gathering at their nesting sites. Birds are returning from their winter home. Closer to the ground, wildflowers are blooming, while the trees above are leafing green. Outdoor fun is always free in your metro parks, and there are 19 Central Ohio metro parks for you to enjoy.
This is the 2016 Ram 1500. That is the 2016 Ford F-150. And this is the 2016 Chevy Silverado. The Ram 1500 gets the best fuel economy of any truck in its class. The Ford F-150 has best-in-class towing, and the Chevy Silverado has a 5-star government crash rating. All three are top-rated trucks by Edmunds, Car and Driver, and Auto Trader. So no matter what you're looking for in a truck, fuel economy, hauling capacity, or dependability, you can find it at buyersauto.com.
Experience more than just a mattress store. Experience an original. The Original Mattress Factory.
10 TV Skyview is sponsored by Tempstar Heating and Cooling Products and Classic Air.
We're keeping tabs on it for you. Just about another hour to go in the March primary. The League of Women Voters is in the 10 TV studio answering your Election Day questions. Please call 614-469-10TV, or you can call toll-free at 855-746-10TV. We will be taking your calls until the polls close at 7:30.
Still time to vote. And continue to trust 10TV and 10TV.com all night long for the latest vote totals and election updates. We will have a special live edition of Face the State with myself and political anchor Scott Light tonight at 7:30. And be sure to check 10TV.com and our Facebook and Twitter pages for digital updates all night long. Chris?
All right, we get some beautiful pictures this time of year, and this will just get you in the mood for spring. Missy capturing that picture. I don't know how she did that.
That doesn't even look real.
I don't know. She gets credit for it anyhow. And this is the real deal. This is out of Westerville right now. Sunset here in about 45 minutes or so. It should be quite pretty as we go through the evening hours tonight. Some wind tomorrow. Wind gusts could be as high as 30, 40 miles an hour. There'll be a line of thunderstorms back near Chicago later tonight that'll weaken, but that storm system's pretty strong, so a little blustery tomorrow.
Okay, but generally March is behaving herself.
I'd say we're doing pretty good and warm, too, when you think about it.
It's more lamb-like in that respect. Yeah.
Indeed.
Instead of the line.
I like a good leg of lamb myself.
There you go.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. The CBS Evening News is next.
Don't wait to make your morning great. Download the 10 TV app for breaking news, weather, and traffic alerts sent right